Hi LCS artist, it's Mrs. Peterson here. Today we're going to be making an art project inspired by artist Thiebaud. Thiebaud is famous for painting different desserts including cakes, pies, and ice cream. So today we're going to be making an ice cream art project. Today you're going to be holding your paper horizontally, which means side to side. And then on the back of your paper, you're going to write your name with pencil, and you're going to write your room number. And then you're going to flip your paper over so that I can't see your name anymore. After we write our names, we are going to fold our paper in half the long way. So we're going to have a fold going right here. To make that, I'm going to take the top of my paper and I'm going to fold it so the edges touch the bottom. And once they're touching, I'm going to crease my paper. And then I'm going to unfold it. The reason we folded this paper in half is to divide it up. The bottom half is going to be for my ice cream bowl or my ice cream dish, and the top part is going to be for my ice cream sundae. So the first thing that I'm going to do is with my pencil, I'm going to leave a little bit of space on the end, and then I'm going to draw a line going straight across in that crease, okay? After I do that, I'm going to draw my ice cream bowl. So I'm going to draw a semicircle to connect my line. And then I'm going to make kind of like a little pedestal. So I'm going to make a line going down and then just make a little fancy base here at the bottom. I can always go back and erase this line, or I can just cover it up when we color this with marker. Now that I have the bottom drawn out, I'm ready to make my ice cream scoops. Let me show you a simple way to make ice cream. To make my ice cream scoop, I'm going to draw a curve, and then at the bottom, I'm going to make smaller curved lines like this, kind of like we're drawing a cloud. Let me show you again. I'm going to make a curve, and then I'm going to make smaller curves at the bottom for the bottom of this scoop. Looks like I have room for one more here, so I'm going to do one more. So those are the bottom 3 scoops for my ice cream sundae. Now I can make it look like my scoops are overlapping by drawing some behind the first 3 scoops. To do that, I'm still going to draw the half of a circle curved shape, and then you would just see a little bit of the curvy lines at the bottom. The same with over here. Maybe I can do another scoop here. And I think I'm gonna do one in the middle like this. So now I have my scoops all stacked up. I could leave my sundae like this, or I could add some extras on top. Maybe I wanna add a little cherry. Maybe I wanna add a spoon poking out the side. This is totally up to you, whatever you decide to add to your ice cream sundae. I could also pretend there's hot fudge or hot chocolate or some kind of other sauce going on top by making drips, where I'm just drawing kind of longer curvy lines. It's totally up to you how you want to make your sundae. I think I'm gonna do one more cherry over here. You could even draw part of a banana if you wanted this to be a banana split. So now I have my sundae drawn with pencil and I'm ready to color it. Today we're going to be coloring a little bit differently than we normally do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace my shapes and then I'm going to color them with lines. Let me show you what I mean. Now we're going to be using marker for this. So here's my marker. When I take the lid off, you'll notice that there's a pointy part of the marker and then there's a flatter side. Normally when we use the marker, we use the pointy part of it. But if I use this side right here, I'm going to get a thicker line. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to trace around and I'm using the side so I get a thick line. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to trace the bottom with the same color. Once I have that traced, I'm going to be using lines to color this project instead of how I would normally color with a marker and use one solid color. So I'm just going to get a different marker and I'm going to start making lines that are close together. And these lines can go whatever direction you'd like. They can be curvy or they can be straight. It's however you would like to make them. So I'm going to do the top of my scoop, and then I'm going to do the bottom here. Once again, this is totally up to you. Just put the lines close together. It's not going to look like you colored it in with the marker unless you put the lines really close together. So I actually have room for one more up here and one down here. So that would be how I would color a scoop of ice cream. Maybe I'll pretend this is strawberry ice cream, and I'm just gonna put a couple little speckles of red in here so it looks like it has little pieces of strawberry in it. So let's just review how to do that, and then I'll let you work on this by yourself. So I'm just going to take my marker, and remember I'm going to use the wide part of the marker, not the point. So I'm going to use this side, and I'm going to trace my lines around the outside. I'm trying to use the side of that marker as much as I can. And then I'm going to take another marker and I'm going to do the inside of my ice cream. And not all my lines have to go the same direction. So maybe for this one, I'm going to do some vertical lines that are really close together. And then up here, I could always do a swervy curly line. It's totally up to you how you want to do this, as long as you keep the lines nice and close together. So I will just continue to work on filling up all of my ice cream scoops. I'm going to try to make each scoop a different flavor of ice cream. Now I've finished all of my ice cream scoops. In some of the scoops, I decided to add some toppings or some mix-ins, and in other scoops, I just left them one solid flavor. So now all I need to do is I need to finish up my bowl and my spoon, and I'm going to be doing those the exact same way. So I'm going to pick one color from my bowl and one color from my spoon, and then I'm just going to go in and I'm going to use the thicker side of my marker, and I'm going to trace my lines, and then I'm going to get a thinner marker and I'm going to go inside with skinny lines, and I'm going to try to put them as close together as possible. And now I'm almost finished with my project. I just need to do the bowl. Wow, now I'm finished with my whole project. I just went in and I added a few extra lines to my bowl, and then I filled them with smaller lines. To review, we made this project and it was inspired by artist Wayne Thiebaud, who is famous for his dessert artwork. Instead of coloring how we normally would, we traced all of our lines with pencil, and then we used thinner lines that were close together to add color. I can't wait to see how your ice cream sundaes turned out. Have fun!